Hey folks, in this video we're going to take a look at a couple of brand new products from the good folks at Heipi. First up is their K10 Backpack Clip. Second up, we're going to be taking a look at their C100 Super Clamp, brand new. Now, the backpack clip is pretty cool. It reminds me of a belt buckle because you can just reach around, press one button, put it on and off. Use a typical Arca Swiss type mounting plate. Putting it back on is just as easy, just snaps in. And then the C100 Super Clamp, nobody's done anything with super clamps for years. This thing is awesome. It has so much versatility built into it. 3/8/16 mounts, quarter 20 on the back side, quarter 20 on the front side, quarter 20 male mount here. I mean, the list of things you can do with this thing is just endless. You guys are gonna want one of these by the end of this video. Let's get into it. So let's just jump right in and we'll take a look at this new K10 backpack clip from Heipi. And so it comes in a really nice box. I mean, it's well packaged for sure. You can buy it right now on Heipi Vision's site, heipivision.com. I'll put a link in the description for you for about $86 US dineros. And we'll open the box. Inside the box, we've got some high density foam. We've got some instructions that are well translated to English, which is nice, very easy to use. And then in the box, what you see is what you get. So you're getting the main backpack clip, you're getting the cleat that comes with it, and there's a rubber pad underneath. So I'll show you all the bits and pieces here and how to use it, how to install it on my, well, 3 of my favorite backpacks anyways. Okay, so take the cleat out of the box. It's very, you know, this is probably one of the most common tripod head cleats or backpack clip cleats that we've seen in the last several years. So that comes with the kit, and then the main clip itself, like so. And on the back, magnetically, this is how it adheres to your backpack strap. So I'll just put that over to the side there for a second. And it just clips on here by a magnet. On the other side, the way that it works is you press this button. You saw me using it in the cold yesterday. So, you know, even with gloves on, you can use this thing. And it looks like, I don't know, a general's badge or something like that with the little wings on it. And that's just to give it some bulk or some width, because a lot of backpacks these days are a little bit wider, you know, than they used to be, say, 5 to 10 years ago. And so under the back clips here, there's a couple of grooves where the pins on this guy will fit into, and that's what holds it in place. And then this clip just folds over and locks down against your strap, and the clip is not going anywhere. So really well made piece of kit. So with no further ado, let's get it on one of my backpacks. I'll show you how to install it, and then you can decide if this is something you want to add to your kit or not. So to mount the K10, first thing you want to do is decide which side, which strap you're going to put it on. I'm right-handed, so I generally put it on the left-hand side. And so in this case, I'm going to mount it in this area here on my my Explorer 35 V2, and I've taken the one ring that hangs down and just folded it up and pushed it under the, you know, the little molly loop here. But typically what I do is I'll just take the strap, turn it over. So I can do something like this here. I can hook it onto the edge like this and just get it started from the front side and then flip it over. It's almost 100% in place now. And so the next thing you want to do, you're going to take your clip like so with this part here facing up, and you're going to push this underneath the 2 metal sides. And you want to shove it up. You'll hear it snap in. There it goes. So there's 2 locking grooves on the back side. And once it snaps in, you fold it over like this. And now this clip is not going anywhere. And you'll be able to install. First I got to open the clip here. There we go. You put your cleat in, clamp it down, and now you got a backpack clip. You've got an action camera, a small camera on here. It is not going anywhere. So before we move on, one thing I thought I would add to this discussion, and that is, this is the setup I was using yesterday out in the field. So this is my A5 Pro with the Heipi proprietary clip. And I can take this, and as long as my little lever is in the up position, I can snap it into place, easy peasy, and then I can just reach around, hit the button, and take it out. And so it works like effortlessly, even with gloves on. Now here's my Ulanzi PK06 with a Falcom F38 bracket on it. And what I like about this is that this will work as well, just as easily. And so Heipi is not one of those manufacturers that has excluded other manufacturers by making their cleats so proprietary. So, and just as easy to get it off as you get it on. So 2 thumbs up to Heipi for that one. So in this second part of this video, we're going to be checking out something really cool. This is the Heipi Super Clamp. This is the C100 Sabertooth Super Clamp. It's quite different from anything that I've seen in the past, and I'm sure you're going to find it really interesting. So stick around. This is going to be quite unique, to say the least. Now, it comes in a really nice packaged box. I mean, it's well packed. You know, there's some dense foam. There's a decent set of instructions, and then I can reach in here, pull out the clamp itself. There's also an included 1/4-20 to 3/8-16 adapter, and so I just put this over to the side. And then once you get it out of the box, like I said, it's rather unique, to say the least. And it's super lightweight. It's not like the old traditional super clamps. It's got a couple of feet on this end. It has a flexible, movable foot on this end here. And it has 4 fittings for mounting like magic arms. So you've got a 3/8-16 and a 1/4-20 with the accompanying area locating pins. There's a male 1/4-20, and then you've got a 1/4-20 on the sides here. So there's lots of place to mount different things. If you want to use this as a small tabletop tripod, you can do so. And to operate it, it's basically just turning the threaded rod here in and out. And where this takes over from traditional super clamps, you can tell just by looking at it, this thing is designed to clamp on a wide variety of irregular shaped objects. Like, you know, for example, if I wanted to just clamp it onto the desk here, I can just tip that foot down like so. And I've got a rock solid mounting point there for whatever, a magic arm, you know, you name it. So with no further ado, let's jump in and we'll take a look at our first application. And just keep in mind that this thing is really well designed. It feels premium. It's definitely a premium piece of kit for sure. It has rubber padding on any surface that's going to contact your tripod. Oh, I gave it away. You can clamp it onto a tripod if you want to. I think what I'll do to start off with is I've got an 1.5 inch wall mount over there, and we'll clamp it onto that, and I'll show you how this thing works, and then we'll take it out in the field and we can do some real practical testing with it, and then you can decide if this is something you want to pick up for yourself. Okay, let's get to it. So here's a great example of where you want to use the Heipi Super Clamp. Let's say you've got a wall mount with an 1.5 inch pipe coming out of it like I do here. You can attach this, and I'll show you how to do it. Just twist this up. And you'll notice you get to a certain point where the 2 legs on this side interfere with the leg on the other side. So you want to just spread those apart. Keep going until you get it starts to come together. I just close them up. Now I want to rotate this so that my attachment points are flush with the top, and I can do that and just tighten this down like so, and just like that you've got a rock solid connection. Now I can take it a step further and I can attach my magic arm. Just snug that up like so. I can bring this down. Really depends on what you're doing. Tighten this up like this, maybe put this like this, and now I've got a great way to mount my phone, you know, in a rock solid connection, and you still have 1, 2 other access points that you can mount things to if you want to. So now that you've seen the Super Clamp in action, let's break down the parts. Heipi sent me all of this stuff. They sent me their K10 Backpack Clip. They sent me the C100. They sent me the PC01 Phone Clip, the MA137 Magic Arm, and I believe there's a 135 as well. This is about $34. I think this was about $19, and then $114 for the Super Clamp itself. And like I said, just watch to the end of the video. There'll be some, part numbers and stuff or links in the description for you if you want to get some of this stuff yourself. But this is a really cool system. I mean, this thing can thread into the top here. It can thread into the 1/4-20 on the side. So it has a real wide range of applications. And I'm going to take it out into the field and show you some of those. Just so that there's no mistake about how versatile this tool really is. And the nice thing about it is that because it's so lightweight, you can throw it in your carry-on. I wouldn't hesitate taking it to do a hotel review or something like that. It just gives you an extra level of versatility when you're out in the field. Okay, so let's demonstrate. Let me demonstrate one of the most practical applications. So here's one of my most used tripods. This is a Leofoto 34mm carbon fiber legs. And so what you're going to do is just clamp this bad boy on here, depending on what you're doing. And again, you got to spread the legs open there a bit. Now I've screwed in. So when I first started talking about the Magic Arm, there's 1/4-20s on both sides. There's the female one sticking out here, and then you still have the 3/16 and 1/4-20 over here. So this thing has lots of attachment points. Now, with this tripod, I wouldn't really need this Magic Arm, okay? Because the Leofoto stuff and a lot of tripods, the newer stuff, they come with 1/4-20 or 3/8/16. However, let me get this guy out of the way. When you look at something like this older Photo Clamp tripod, which is one of my favorite tripods, it's 24mm legs, and back then they weren't building the 1/4-20, 3/8/16 mounting points into the tripods, but you can still use this Super Clamp and it'll fit. Whoops. So it's going to give you some mounting options, and it's rubberized, so it's not going to damage your carbon fiber. Alternatively, you can mount it up here, you can mount it on the rubber tightening, whatever you want. It just depends on what you're doing, but this is where this thing is going to shine. It's going to make up for equipment that's maybe lacking in some areas, or it's going to connect to those irregular shapes out in the field. Okay guys, so let's get rid of the elephant in the room, or let's kill that elephant. Some of you may say, so when you saw me put the Heipi clamp onto the tripod, you're going to come back with, I'll get some hate mail, oh, you could have used one of these little clamps, right? And you absolutely could. Or, this is a better clamp. So my job is not to tell you which one of these clamps is better. My job is simply to make you aware that this clamp exists, and it's a wicked powerful tool should you choose to take advantage of it and use it. So with that out of the way, let's carry on with our testing. So here's another scenario you might want to take advantage of with the Heipi Super Clamp, and that is I've got the clamp just clamped onto the table here. I'm using the Magic Arm going directly to the Pocket 3. And this is a great way to use this tool and get, really good video footage in the studio. And my desk here is probably, 22 inches across, if that. So just one more great use of this tool. So let's put our Heipi clamp to work now, and I got a couple of adapters here I'm going to use. So I'm going to screw this one into the bottom of this little ball head here and just give it a snug up. Then I'm going to screw it into the Heipi clamp, the 3/8/16. I'm just going to snug that up a little bit, bring that up like so. And the first camera I'm going to mount is my G85, so it's a little bit more lightweight. I can fit that in like so. I can loosen the pan control and I can pan back and forth with the camera like that, which is probably a you know, a realistic scenario of what you're going to use it for. I can also turn the camera around if I want to do a top-down shot, something like that. And you can see it moves a little bit, but it's holding it quite securely. Like, I'm not nervous about this at all. If I was hanging this off a bar at Niagara Falls, I might have a safety clip on my, a safety tether on my camera, but here I don't have to worry too much. And then, so this is a pretty lightweight camera though, so let's take this one off. And this is my Sony a7 IV. And I can tighten that on. You know, the key here is to use common sense, right? So if I loosen this, I can pan back and forth. But you can see, I mean, it's a little bit jiggly. It's not like 100% rock solid, but depending on the shot that you want to get, if you use a trigger to fire your camera, you're going to be golden. So, and then of course you can turn it the other way if you want to do a top-down shot. But now you got like 3 or 4 pounds of weight on the clamp, and it's still standing up to it pretty good. Like, it holds it really well as far as I'm concerned. So there's a couple of realistic scenarios for you using the Heipi clamp, and you know, a ball head and a couple of, like, a little adapter. And I mean, you can get a smaller adapter like this if you want to shorten the distance between the camera and the ball head, or you can go to the magic arm and insert that one. Just depends on what you're trying to achieve. So here's what I mean about the Heipi Super Clamp being so versatile. Let me show you this. So this is something that just occurred to me about 5 minutes ago. Clamping this thing onto the side of your bed liner. You know, this would be really handy. You stop at the side of the road, you don't have your tripod, you just clamp this thing onto the side of the truck, bed liner here, and away you go. So let's do a quick recap here. So you can see the C100 Super Clamp. This is the MA137 that I showed in the video. This one I didn't show, but I put it in just so you guys are aware that it exists. If you're looking for a phone clamp, this is a pretty good one. The PC01 has quarter 20 mounts on it on the bottom, and it also has an Arca Swiss fitting here. So pretty versatile little phone clamp. And then of course you got the K10 Backpack. So let's start with the C100. It's $115 US, and I happen to have it on good authority that some of these products will be on sale in the not too distant future. Spring and Easter sales are coming up, so you'll be able to take advantage of that. And I'll put some links in the description for you, which should help you. So the PC01 Phone Clamp, it retails for $19. The MA137 is $34. The 175 is $37. And then the K10 itself is $86. Now, these are prices, you know, that I've pulled off of their website. You know, current prices. Like I say, there'll be sales coming up. You want to take advantage of those. And then, you know, check out the links in the description. That'll help as well. So I'm going to show you 2 more examples that really show the design and ingenuity that's gone into this clamp. First of all, we're going to clamp onto a 3.5-inch drain pipe. Now, this could be a fence railing at Niagara Falls, or, you know, fence railing over a trestle bridge, wherever, but it clamps on and it's rock solid. You got great mounting points for your gear. And then the second one I'm going to show you is what really shows this little foot here and how it works to make the clamp really hold fast. Okay, so in this application here, you're going to be able to see really clearly the role that this foot plays when you're clamping onto something like a 2x4. Now, this isn't a realistic photography scenario, at least for most of you it's not. In my house it might be, just depending on what I'm doing. I'll snug this up, and now you can really see the role that foot plays to give you a rock solid mounting point. All right, guys, let's wrap this up so I can give you my final thoughts. My job is basically not to tell you whether this is the best backpack clamp you've ever used, or this is the best super clamp you've ever used, but to test these products and see if the value for money is there. And it absolutely is with this set of products. They're super well machined, they're well engineered, there's a ton of ingenuity gone into the development of them, you know, especially the super clamp. So at the end of the day, I can tell you, go and buy these things with confidence. You're not going to be disappointed. They're not toys. They're precision tools. You're going to get lots of use out of them. And if you found this video useful, do me a big favor and hit the subscribe, like, and notification bells for me. I really appreciate it. And I will see you in the next one with some more great content. Take care now.